the last week episode, which we did, we made sure that we give you a perspective of IIM Jammu. And today, I, Sanika Mate, your friend, your mentor, and your guide, coming up with the Campus Insider IPM at IIM Bodhgaya today, and giving you a perspective of how IPM at IIM Bodhgaya would be. All right. With this, let's not kind of wait further and let's start the session. So we have a panelist, and we'll start with a session with a quick round of introduction because you all want to understand how exactly their profiles are, who they are. So, ladies first, starting with Shubhangi Gupta. Shubhangi Gupta, can you please introduce yourself for my students?
Absolutely, ma'am. So, my name is Shubhangi Gupta. I am from Jaipur, Rajasthan, and I am currently pursuing IPM at IIM Bodhgaya. Currently, अभी हमारा समर वेकेशन चल रहा है. फर्स्ट ईयर अभी जस्ट खत्म हुआ है. 10th में I scored 94.8 and in 12th I scored 85.6 with science background. सो अगर जो लोग ऐसा सोच रहे हैं कि 90 के ऊपर लाना ही बहुत वो बड़ी बात होती है, बट ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है. 80 के ऊपर लाओगे और एग्जाम अच्छे से दोगे तो निकल जाएगा. और आई एम जस्ट हियर टू क्लियर ऑल ऑफ योर डाउट्स. सो इफ यू हैव एनीथिंग यू कैन डेफिनेटली आस्क मी. बाद में भी इफ यू वांट टू कांटेक्ट मी, मेरा नंबर, इंस्टाग्राम, कुछ भी चाहिए हो मैं प्रोवाइड करूंगी एट द एंड ऑफ द सेशन. सो प्लीज फील फ्री टू कांटेक्ट मी एनी टाइम. थैंक
Thank
यू.
you so much, Shubhangi, giving a perspective कि 80 plus भी रहा तो entrance exam अच्छे से दो निकल जाएगा. ठीक है. Next in line we have Ansh Goyal. Ansh, can you please introduce yourself to this?
Hello, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me. Like Shubhangi, I'm also will be joining second year at IIM Bodhgaya for IPM. And मेरे 10th में 94 थे एंड 12th में 75% थे. तो मैं ये बोलना चाहता हूँ कि जिन लोगों के 80 प्लस भी नहीं आते उन लोगों के लिए भी ऐसा एंड ऑफ द वर्ल्ड नहीं होता है. दे ऑल्सो हैव अ चांस इन एवरीथिंग. आई मीन देयर इज अ रीजन व्हाई आई गॉट 75. साइंस था मेरा. आई वाज प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर जेई. 3 साल तक मैं जेई की प्रिपरेशन किया. एंड फिर अक्टूबर में, मतलब नेक्स्ट ईयर जनवरी में फर्स्ट वो है मेंस का. एंड अक्टूबर में मैंने प्रिपरेशन पूरी छोड़ दी. जीरो. जेई की प्रिपरेशन छोड़ दी एंड आई स्टार्टेड प्रिपरेशन फॉर आईपीमैट. एंड क्योंकि मैं डमी स्कूल भी जाता था तो स्कूल वाली पढ़ाई भी नहीं होती थी. प्रॉपर सिर्फ आईपीमैट की पढ़ाई कर रहा था मैं, विच वॉज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग क्योंकि आई नीड हैड टू फोकस ऑन माई बोर्ड्स, जो मैंने नहीं किया. But still, 75 आया and I know it's not the end of the world. I have a lot of options to go and I can achieve a lot more. तो that's that. And एक और फैक्ट, हम तीनों जो पैनलिस्ट्स हैं हम लोग आई एम बोधगया के एडमिशन कमेटी के मेंबर्स हैं. तो अभी जैसे जिपमैट इस साल का हुआ है एंड एनटीए जब फाइनल स्कोर कार्ड्स कॉलेज को भेजेगा उसके बाद कट ऑफ तो कॉलेज ही डिसाइड करता है जो एडमिशन ऑफिस है, बट वो डिक्लेयर हम लोग करेंगे. उसके बाद हर स्टूडेंट जो सिलेक्ट होगा या फिर जो वेट लिस्ट में होगा उसकी क्वेरीज जो आएंगी डायरेक्टली वो हम लोग हैंडल करेंगे. प्लस फाइनल सिलेक्टेड स्टूडेंट्स का जो रजिस्ट्रेशन प्रोसेस होगा वो भी हम लोग कराएंगे. तो और फिर नेक्स्ट ईयर जो 25 के एस्पिरेंट्स है इस साल जो आएंगे बैच हम उनको सिलेक्ट करेंगे एज द नेक्स्ट एडमिशन कमिटी. एंड वो लोग फिर तुम्हारा एडमिशन करवाएंगे.
Okay, okay, fine. So, Ansh, thank you so much for giving us this sneak peek. So, all the 24 students here who are expecting and they know that how exactly it works, this is how it works. Okay, thank you so much for introducing yourself, Ansh. Uh, Next, we have Saransh. Saransh Sharma, can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you, ma'am, for inviting me. Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I am Saransh. I am I'm from Odisha, but I have roots in Rajasthan. In my 10th and 12th, I have maintained 96.4%, and I have had very good academics in the college as well. Though the college is not only about academics, I'm also interested in sports, drama, etc. Everything. And the college gives me opportunities. Like me and Shubhangi are in dance and drama club. We are also in admission committee. We are in finance club, equity club. Ansh is also in drama club. Sorry, Ansh. So, it gives a whole package. We have a lot of things to do. The college provides students the opportunity to run clubs, committees, events, organizations, everything. So, yeah, looking forward to all of you coming there. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Saransh. Now, let's talk about the first very crucial question. Okay, starting with Ansh. All right. Ansh, you said that you just dropped off your, your IPMAT, I mean, your JE prep, and
Mm-hmm.
you started kind of focusing on the IPMAT. How many IIMs were you focusing? What exactly and how exactly you decided on going with both there? I am both there.
So my funda was clear कि if I'm not going to do engineering and I'm going to pursue this management path, I will choose the best college that India has to offer for undergraduation. So after I found about IPMAT, IPM programs, I got to know there were five IIMs. So naturally, my aim was only these five IIMs. Obviously, I had backups in case any of these didn't meet, I didn't get in. But my main aim was all the five IIMs, and I was not particularly choosy. I mean, obviously, order-wise, Indore would be first, then Ranchi, then Bodh Gaya, Jammu, and then Rohtak for me. Uh, but yeah, I mean, it was just like this, and I was focused entirely on IIMs, how to crack IIMs.
Okay, how to crack IIMs, basically, that was your agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. Shubhangi, I want to understand your journey. What exactly was your, your goal? I mean, what were your shortlist when it comes to colleges are concerned, and what other colleges were you preparing for?
So basically, I was from science background, but I never appeared for any engineering entrance exams. I was very clear about not pursuing engineering. So by the end of my 12th, I got to know about IPMAT before 2, 3 months of the exam. So I didn't have much time to prepare for it. I had to take a drop. Initially, I gave exam. I only gave IPMAT Indore. Only IPMAT Indore. I did not have any information about Bodh Gaya, Jammu or Ranchi, Rohtak. I couldn't clear it. I took a drop, and my main focus was IPMAT Indore. I was preparing for IPMAT Indore. Obviously, I also had backups like NMIMS or Symbiosis and all, but my main goal was to get into an IIM.
Okay.
So that's how I prepared for it. Indore, mein actually, I couldn't clear one section's cutoff, which was of verbal. I scored really high marks in quant section and LRDI section, but just because I couldn't clear one section's cutoff, I couldn't clear Indore. Ranchi mein I got shortlisted for the interview. I couldn't clear that too. So I was left with three options: Rohtak, Bodh Gaya, and Jammu. I and then chose Bodh Gaya ultimately. So I
I can
think
feel you. I can feel you. I mean, I am going through that phase where I'm connecting with a lot of students, and I can understand what exactly you must be feeling. Moving to Saransh, Saransh, I'm very keen on understanding what exactly your journey was. What was the list of colleges you were targeting, and how exactly your journey was.
My journey was kind of rocky because though I was maintaining good academics, but I was preparing for JEE. I had a PCM background. I felt that engineering was not for me, or I was not for engineering. So I asked my father that, my father, nahi ho raha. He said, okay, no problem. You do what you want to do. But then I switched over to IPMAT. In IPMAT, and it is the best IIM which offers IIM. So which offers IPM. So I was aiming for that. Obviously, when you aim higher, you at least get somewhere above that. I had a bad rough day at Indore, so I could not clear quant section, which was my domain. I prepared very hard for VA, which was my weakness. I cleared that just by 1 mark, but it was a rough day on for MCQ part, which was my domain. Still, no regrets. Then we had JIPMAT, Rohtak I cleared for the interview. At interviews, it was well. I don't know why I did not get selected, but anyways, then we had Jammu and Bodh Gaya. Then I chose Bodh Gaya because it was closer to me. It had my a friend from my locality was already at Bodh Gaya. So when I asked him that if Jammu or Bodh Gaya, he suggested me that Bodh Gaya over Rohtak as well. Therefore, I chose Bodh Gaya, and now I am excel. Means I am very happy that I chose Bodh Gaya. I'm doing great.
Fantastic. So your reason for selecting, because this is my actually the next question. कि वो जो crossroad था, that particular crossroad you were in, you decided to move to Bodh Gaya. So your reason, Saransh, for choosing IIM Bodh Gaya was the fact that it was closer to your city where you used to stay, or where you stayed was closer to your city.
I'm closer to my city. Plus, I had a person who was already in Bodhgaya, and he showed me that the opportunity is there. One person had foreign internship with a stipend, people working for Accenture, then students actually handling committees. Like they are the means the first line is the students actually interacting with parents, customers, companies. The opportunities which I got to see there because of him. Therefore, I chose Bodhgaya.
Okay, so what I understand what you told me that the perspective what you got from one of the students who was currently studying in the Bodhgaya was the exposure, the kind of opportunities and the exposure. These are the two criteria which prompted you to move to Bodhgaya, right? Moving to Shubhangi. Shubhangi, when you cleared your your GIPMAT cutoffs, right? And you were in the dilemma ki Jammu ki Bodhgaya or anything else. How did you boil down ki ठीक है Bodhgaya जाए?
So basically, I connected to a lot of seniors, both at IIM Bodhgaya and IIM Jammu. IIM Jammu seniors didn't respond well to me. So basically, I only had to interact with IIM Bodhgaya seniors. They were quite nice. They told me why I should choose Bodhgaya over Jammu. But still, the confusion persisted. So I consulted my mentor. So he suggested that Bodhgaya is far better than Jammu. So choose Bodhgaya. And I trusted him, chose Bodhgaya, and I'm very happy with the decision, obviously.
Okay, so you had the option of other colleges as well, but when you connected with the seniors, your perspective. So, what I want to understand is that when you spoke to the seniors, what exactly was the feedback which you got from the seniors? As in, was it the same criteria what we got from Saransh in terms of the exposure, in terms of the uh, let's say the exposure, the kind of opportunities what you get. Was it the same or was it something else as well?
I think all of the factors because obviously I asked them why should I choose Bodh Gaya over Jammu because you're obviously students at Bodh Gaya. You would say Bodh Gaya is better than Jammu. I asked for reasons and they did give me very legit reasons which made me believe that okay Bodh Gaya is better than Jammu. Like the networking is better at Bodh Gaya since we reside at the same campus as MBA seniors. IIM Jammu has I think two campuses. MBA seniors have a different campus and they're not very much connected to the MBA seniors. Here we are connected to MBA seniors through clubs, through committees. We're having lunch, dinner, breakfast in the same mess. We're so connected. So I think networking is the biggest factor. Apart from this, I think there are a lot of opportunities at Bodh Gaya, like rural immersion. We get to do this after our second year. It's a 2 month rural immersion and it's a great opportunity to learn. It's more like a social internship. So I think that was also another factor. And obviously there are other factors also like the faculty is good. Obviously you get a lot of opportunities, IIM tag. But networking for me was the biggest factor. And the
Okay,
new
so
campus.
okay. So we have networking, we have exposure, we have opportunities. Ansh, you are back, and now I want to understand from you, with your journey, you wanted to opt for the best. However, you decided on going with the Bodh Gaya. IPM at IIM Bodh Gaya. What was your perspective? What perspective did you get? And why was the decision taken to eventually take admission in IIM Bodh Gaya?
So IPMAT Indore went well. Paper went well for me. The results obviously not. Uh, in the paper, I only like the cutoff was 178 last year, and I got 184. I missed the sectional cutoff by one question, 4 marks in the essay, and it was entirely a silly mistake. It was not that I wasn't able to solve the question. It was entirely a pressing mistake. The mouse, I don't know, due to me or the mouse. I knew the answer, but sadly, so yeah, never mind. Then, so I didn't clear Indore and Ranchi's cutoff. Then Rohtak, I scored 392. I mean, while preparation after giving the exam, every coaching was saying 315, 320 for safe cutoff. So we were all very happy because our paper had gone very well. But then the results came 392. Still, it didn't show that you got selected. So that was a bummer. But I say that's a blessing in disguise. I don't think I would have liked Rohtak. and then IPMAT. So after giving Indore and Rohtak, I was very overconfident considering how well they had gone. So I was very overconfident and I attempted all the questions. Even the ones I didn't knew, even the ones I, just randomly I did all the questions, and thankfully I scored above the cutoff. I got in at the last list at IIM Bodhgaya. The final cutoff was 313. I scored 314.
Ooh, that was close.
Yeah. And meanwhile, I'd also given the entrance for all the private colleges, Symbiosis, Christ, NMIMS. I'd gotten everywhere. I had actually joined NMIMS Mumbai and I was studying there for a month till, I got selected into IIM Bodhgaya. So I kind of experienced that life a bit too because I was there for an entire month and then I joined Bodhgaya. But I don't have any regrets over choosing Bodhgaya over NMIMS. And yeah, I also applied for DU, and DU, my only target was Shahid Sukhdev. I got everywhere in except Shahid Sukhdev. So yeah, so I didn't join DU as well. Because I didn't just wanted to join undergraduate just for the sake of a degree. I wanted to actually learn because I was from a science background. I didn't know anything, so I wanted to learn the A to Z of and the entire basics. That's why I joined a proper college, and I switched from NMIMS to IIM Bodhgaya after being selected.
Fantastic. So, what I understand from all three of you, the perspectives of joining IIM Bodhgaya is to each its own. Okay, somebody possibly must have joined, IIM Bodhgaya for a single reason being because of the exposure, because of, the networking, because of the fact that it's an IIM tag. Okay, but when just kind of boiling it down, that when you are looking at admissions with IIM Bodhgaya, once you start giving the entrance exam, the journey is different for each student. What you can take away from this particular session is the perspectives, the kind of experiences what they have shared. However, the decision will be yours. Okay. So this particular session is just to make sure that you get a perspective from the students, each its own with their own experiences. Okay. Now we have kind of taken care of the admissions aspect. Okay. Now let's talk about the academics. IIM Bodhgaya, you all have kind of done with 1 year. Okay. Starting with you, Ansh, ek mahina, 1 month, good 1 month with NMIMS. Then you kind of entered the IIM Bodhgaya. In terms of academics, why you felt or did you feel that IIM Bodhgaya is kind of doing justice to your thought process of what exactly you thought the academics would look like this, and is it really working that way?
So if I'll say the core subjects that we had in the first year, they were what you would expect them to be, like accounts, economics. They were basically, yeah, state of facts and everything that you just had to know. You need to learn. Apart from that, the other subjects like we had mindfulness, science of well-being, then critical thinking, presentation skills. So subjects like these really helped. I had a creative mind. I mean, I'm not prying, but I like to write creative stuff and everything. So these subjects helped me boost my thought process. And see, over NMIMS, if I compare it, it's not a fair comparison because when I had joined NMIMS, I was there for the first month. It In the first month, you are not very frank with everyone. You're not very open to everyone. You kind of just, ki, ha, it's a college, so we need to make a good impression. We need to stay our best. It was that time for me at NMIMS. But the education there is also very well. It's not That's not the point. But I was after joining Bodhgaya, after that best wala period ended. I kind of understood why I had taken Bodhgaya. My goal was basically from a college to that it should have a campus life, hostels, and good education. And Bodhgaya fulfilled all three of these criterias. Whereas NMIMS, everyone knows, it's just a building.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. that's exactly what your perspective when it comes to your first academics, exactly what you're kind of sharing with us. Starting with you, here again, Shubhangi, what exactly the academics, how was the first year when it comes to academics? I would like if you can give us a little little peekaboo in regards with what exactly are the subjects what you study in terms of semester wise. Something which you would be able to cover, and then I'm sure rest, the whole concoction, that will final hair, Saransh would be able to do it for us. So, can you give us a little information about that? The academics.
Yes, ma'am. So basically, we get to study a lot of subjects in one semester. We have 13 to 12 to 13 subjects to study in each semester, and this keeps changing every semester. So in my first semester, we were studying everything like business math, business history, management, marketing. Apart from these, we were also studying subjects like emotional intelligence, critical writing, thinking skills. We have psychology as a subject, yoga, we have dance, music. So we actually study practically everything. Obviously, it's more towards it's inclined towards business, obviously. But it's actually, I think this course is structured in a way so that it gives us a holistic development. And I think that's actually quite enjoyable because you get to study a lot of things. It's actually very hectic at the beginning. Starting ka first semester, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I hardly study anything. We all of us, most of us study just before the exam. So it's actually difficult to, do everything. And we have two exams every day. We gave 13 exams in 6 days. So you can get an
13,
idea how hectic it can get. The
13
subjects and
exams in
studies.
6 days.
13
Wow.
exams in 6 days. So big exam, then evening, and then next day morning, evening, next day morning, evening, like that. So
Students
I
don't get
think,
scared. It's IIM. You sign up for it.
yes, we actually don't get scared because हम सब साथ में पढ़ रहे हैं, सब साथ में टेंशन ले रहे हैं. So
All right.
it's so nice. You get to experience a good friendship during that thing. Friends help you. तुम एक दूसरे के रूम में जा रहे हो, पढ़ रहे हो, किसी और के रूम में जा रहे हो, वो पढ़ रहे हो, तो सबसे थोड़ा थोड़ा पढ़ रहे हो, सबसे थोड़ा थोड़ा सीख रहे हो. तो इससे एक्चुअली टीम वर्क भी बहुत ज्यादा इनहेंस होता है एज अ क्वालिटी इंडिविजुअल में, कि टीम वर्क में साथ में कैसे पढ़े, ग्रुप स्टडी कैसे करें. बिकॉज अकेले तो इंसान, मतलब लोग बोलते हैं कि अकेले करोगे, बट एक्चुअली में तुम्हें अपनी टीम के साथ पढ़ना होता है. कि इस कॉम्पिटिशन भी करते हैं हम, तो उसमें भी तुमको टीम के साथ पढ़ के तुम सब साथ में सक्सेसफुल होते हो. सो आई
Okay.
थिंक वो
So,
जस्ट है. हम्म.
absolutely. Now, what I learned from here is, and this is something which I think students, you really need to pick it up, that when it comes to, you know, institutes like this, right? The academics are not really helping you in terms of, learning the content, the depth of the content. But the institutes are also helping you to be a better person in terms of working with the team, okay? Making sure that you're helping your peer group. Okay, this peer group which also graduate with you and eventually moves their own steps in their life and kind of help you once you grow. Okay, so that's what exactly peer group and networking comes into picture. Thank you, Shubhangi, for that good perspective. And last but not the least, Saransh, academics from your perspective. अब तक what have you experienced? इतने 16 पेपर देने के बाद में, what have you kind of experienced with it?
We'll start with an example about what is the aim of academics in IIMs or IIM Bodhgaya in particular. Let's talk about marketing. We are taught, it's a semester, we are taught about marketing, we have done everything. In the question paper, I remember very properly, the question was, suppose you are a marketer or at Bodhgaya. Now, Bodhgaya is a tourist place. So, how would you conduct your business? This was the question in a marketing paper. Now you have to apply concepts from management, marketing, economics, operations, supply chain, everything in the paper. It's actual working, not just theory blurted out on the paper. You can't learn and put this out. You are not taught that okay, seasonal store hai, तो कैसे काम करेगा. You can't learn that. You have to apply concepts from everywhere. That is what the beauty, I think, of IIM's or IIM Bodhgaya's question paper are. The aim of academics is not you learning the stuff; it's you applying the stuff on the paper, on the ground. And ma'am, Subhangi told about holistic development, Ansh told about holistic development. I want to tell you, it's not just the paper. Within the assignments or quizzes or class projects, we are made random groups of the classmates, inter-batch classmates, friends, or random classmates, and then you have to prepare a presentation in, let's say, 2 days. So you have to prepare the content, practice the content, present the content. That is what is actual holistic development. You're spending time on a topic with people of different perspectives. Economics, ma'am, our economics sir had a thing called economic selfie. He proposed us that go around, see, suppose there was a apple which was costing 100 rupees. Next day you went to the same store, it was costing 98 rupees. Take a selfie there, explain the concept, why could the price have fallen. We had psychology sir, we had taught about, like, when you see two things, how do you, our eyes are actually 2D, then how are we perceiving depth? So he asked us to take pictures around us so that we can explain the concept in those pictures, not only just reading that okay our eyes are 2D, actually understanding what do we mean by that. That is what is academics in IIM Bodhgaya.
Very
multiple
experienced, very
multiple
experienced.
yes, ma'am. Multiple examples I can give out right now. Yoga, there are practical classes, then we have theory classes explaining why are we doing, what are we doing, not just getting you to understand it but actually living the experience. That was it.
Fantastic. I mean, I quite like the perspective all three of you have given. It is something which was, it is giving me a lot of, uh, you know, understanding if I have to kind of give students some, 2 cents in regards with IIM Bodhgaya. So this is something which really helps. Now let's talk about the campus life, which includes the professors as well. Okay. We all, we all understand that this is a life which is very, it's called, a time which you remember, which once you grow, you kind of recollect those days. So starting with you, Shubhangi, how exactly is the faculty? I mean, Saransh had given us information that the faculty is definitely very good. Okay, but I want to understand from you when it comes to attendance, when it comes to the professors, is it approachable? Are the professors very good, or they're very strict? What exactly the campus life looks like when it comes to the academic aspect? Then we will move to the fun aspect. But I want to understand when it comes to campus life, the academics aspect of it. Professors बहुत strict हैं, approachable हैं. How exactly it works?
They're actually very approachable. They seem to be strict. जब अटेंडेंस लेनी होती है तो दे आर वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट कि क्लास में नहीं आए, बिकॉज अटेंडेंस हियर इट इज 85% अटेंडेंस. तो बहुत माइंडफुली हमको हॉलीडेज लेनी पड़ती हैं कि ले छुट्टी या ना ले. तो अटेंडेंस का एस्पेक्ट तो हमेशा रहेगा, उसके तो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. बट क्लास में एक्चुअली प्रोफेसर्स काफी, मोस्ट प्रोफेसर्स चिल होते हैं. ऑल ऑफ देम आर वेरी अप्रोचेबल. इफ यू वांट टू डू एनी इफ यू वांट टू डू अ रिसर्च पेपर विद देम, तो उसके लिए भी यू कैन अप्रोच देम कि मुझे इस चीज में आगे और स्टडी करना है, कैन यू हेल्प मी, या ऐसा कुछ. तो दे आर ऑलवेज रेडी टू हेल्प यू, दे आर ऑलवेज अप्रोचेबल. एक टीचर हैं, उनसे मैं बहुत क्लोज हूँ, सुमन मैम. आई हैव अ नंबर ऑल्सो. तो मैंने उनको ईमेल कर दिया, शी जस्ट ईमेल्ड मी बैक सेइंग कि कॉल मी, दिस इज माय नंबर. सो इट्स एक्चुअली, यू फील इट्स अ वेरी गुड फ्रेंडली एनवायरनमेंट देयर. सीनियर्स भी सब अच्छे हैं, सब अप्रोचेबल हैं. एमबीए सीनियर्स भी सब अप्रोचेबल है. यूर वर्किंग विद एमबीए सीनियर्स थ्रू क्लब्स एंड कमिटीज. फैकल्टी बहुत अच्छी इंटरैक्टिव है. सो ओवरऑल बहुत ही ज्यादा अप्रोचेबल, इंटरैक्टिव, फ्रेंडली इन्वायरमेंट रहता है वहां पे.
Okay, very nice. Now coming to Ansh. Ansh, as we got a perspective from Shubhangi that the professors are very approachable. With 85% attendance, this is how the academics, aspect looks like. But, I want to understand your perspective when it comes to your day, when it comes to a campus is concerned, when exactly the lecture starts, how many lectures are aligned in a day.
Yeah, before answering this one, I'll just like to add 2 points.
Go
Rega
ahead.
yeah, regarding the previous question about academics, I want to mention that Saransh is our batch topper.
Ooh. Ooh.
He has gotten the highest CGPA in all the three batches of IPM course. And yeah, I study with my group. I live on the first floor in the hostel, and he lives on the ground floor. I study with my group during exams, and still there have been countless amount of times I've ran down the stairs to his room. Bro, please explain this. And yeah, that's also, experience. You know how you get to learn how to, approach people. You learn how to ask people for help, which is not a bad thing. Then secondly, another point is regarding the professors. Since they also live in the same campus as us, they also have the residence in the same campus. So we often meet them after classes. Evening may they go for a walk. We also out roaming the campus, so we meet them, exchange greetings. कुछ पूछना है, so we ask them. ऐसा मतलब it's a very friendly environment. They are very approachable. You can, yeah, that's the main thing. For example, I was interning at a company, and it had a problem where it's a mushroom company, and it had a problem that it need to sell its products in market, in retail stores. So we needed to create an ad, and we need to run it across YouTube. So we asked, my seniors were there with me in this project. So we asked one professor if we could shoot an ad with, ma'am, his wife, and his son in the ad. And he was all up for it. We went to his, residence. We went to his house. We shot a YouTube ad and we ran it across YouTube in that region. So professors are very friendly.
Professors are very friendly. 85% in attendance will be mandatory here. Right.
Uh,
So,
85% attendance, although mandatory है, but let's see. Majority courses are 2 credits or 3 credits.
okay.
Malab, and each credit is 1 hour. Sorry,
Okay.
each credit is 10 hours. So 2 credit means a 20-hour lecture and 3 means 30 hour. And it is divided half before midsem 10 classes, after midsem 10 classes. So if you look at it, you only have to attend 10 classes before in like 1.5 month per subject. It's not that much, plus it's 1 hour per lecture, so you don't feel that tired or burned out. And there's a break after every class, so yeah, we run up to the canteen to get something to eat or drink. That's not an issue with us.
Okay.
um Also, I mean, could you repeat the question you asked?
The academics in terms of
Yeah.
कितने lectures होते हैं? How many lectures do you get in a day? How your day looks like?
Okay. So our lectures start from 8:30 till 3:15, and it doesn't. And we have a 1 hour break in between for lunch and 15 minutes break after every class. So 5 or 6 lectures per day. But it's not compulsory that we'll have 5 or 6 lectures per day. Usually we only have 2 or 3 lectures, and because the same professors who are teaching us also teach the MBA students, so they need to match the schedule of them accordingly. So we often have 2 or 3 classes per day, and it's very chill. You study for 3 hours and then you are free to go and do whatever you want. But
Okay.
also during exam time, or let's say there are some classes for a particular subject that are remaining before the exams, we have classes till 8 o'clock in the evening. But when you get 2 classes in a day and when you get 8 classes in a day, you learn to balance them. So
Absolutely. So I think we got a good information, very good, detailed perspective on academics. Now moving to Saransh, the topper of the class. People don't like toppers. Okay, so that's not the case, I know. But what I want to understand from you, Saransh, definitely IIM Bodhgaya is suiting you and things are going pretty well. But from a current student, I want to understand when it comes to academics, you have highlighted a lot about experiential learning. Okay, you have highlighted a lot about the fact that how good the professors are in terms of approachability. What I want to understand is in terms of internships, because Anshit mentioned about internships. So when it comes to IIM Bodhgaya, academics and internships, I think it's a very crucial part. Students look at that. So tell me more about internships and the rest of the academics if you possibly want to share something else also with us.
Talking about internships, this year, currently, I am in an internship provided by the college. It's a campus engagement program, Reliance Retail. We are working on digital marketing optimization of GeoMart pan India level. This is the opportunity we are getting. Yes, ma'am. Then we have students on foreign exchange internships. 2 months in America at a stipend. It was at a stipend last year. This year, I think 6 students have gone to America for foreign internships without
First year
stipend, I think.
students, not the first year students, right? This
Third,
will be
third,
the
third year
third year
students. Yeah.
students.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Continue.
Internships, then you are allowed to take an internship if you want while studying. Like now we are at vacation, so you can take up. But even if you are studying and you can take an internship, manage your time, make it remote, you can do it. There is no restriction about that. Also, ma'am, about the attendance thing, it's up to us how we manage it. Means we have an Excel sheet where we have all 20 classes lined up, and then we have green sticker, red sticker. That which are the classes we have taken, how much is the percentage we are maintaining, how much we can take, how many are left. That is up to us. Then we can plan that, okay, I have 3 holidays left. These three will be the classes. So I can go outside, talk to someone about an interview, talk about an internship. Talking about professors and approachability, ma'am, I would like to tell you it was accounts exam. Our hostel cutoff time is 10 p.m. That you have to come back to the hostel at 10 p.m. But tomorrow is accounts exam, ma'am. I know my friend who went to the teacher at 9:30 p.m. That, ma'am, I have this doubts, and ma'am was sitting in the academic building that, okay, I'm here, come. And she came back at 10:30 with permission that, okay, this fellow is with me, she's studying, I'll send her after 10. This is how approachable teachers are even before the exam, just one day before exam. And ma'am, presentations, ma'am, our batchmates have won competitions where MBA students from IIM Lucknow, IIM Ahmedabad have participated. Our students have won that competitions. In those, we sit with our professors, we discuss with our professor, we present our case to the professor. They help us, guide us how to make it better. IPM first year students beating IIM Lucknow MBA students in a case competition. That's not a short thing, and that too with the help of our professors. How good is that, ma'am? I'll tell you my case. Ma'am, I was in an interview. I was going into the interview room. I had my Charu ma'am. She was standing outside. Means 10 minutes later, I was inside the rooms. 10 minutes before that, I'm asking ma'am, suppose they ask me this question, how should I answer? This is how approachable they are. It's good harmony, ma'am. Since Ansh said that we are living in the same campus, while after dinner, while we are strolling, we see professors with their families strolling around. I've seen Shubhangi pick professors' kids. They're so friendly, so approachable.
Fantastic. So overall, if you see, attendance can definitely see attendance is something, according to, I have done quite many sessions for me to kind of give a conclusion that no matter what, attendance as a criteria is to make sure that you don't really go over the board, because these are the days when you tend to kind of get carried away. But this is a little thing which actually kind of tells you how to do time management. It gives you a reminder that this is also important with the rest of the things. So with all that seriousness, it's very nice to understand that the approachability of the faculty is definitely there. Now let's talk about the festivals and the clubs. Okay, the topper of the class, who have also given us a lot of information about the case, the case studies as well. Saraj, tell me, when it comes to it's definitely it cannot be all academics, right? Your personality as a student would definitely kind of get enhanced when you do when you take part in the festival. That becomes the fun aspect. Give us a little insight in regards with the festival of IIM Bodhgaya.
I'll tell you my experience from the second month. We were in
Okay.
college. It's all new. We are new to our people, new to our friends, new to our seniors. Ma'am, the first competition, which by the way I got second in that competition. My team got second in that competition. Ma'am, it was short film making. You have to shoot. You have to put music in it. You have to, if you can play, you can do animation. You have to put rap music. You have to what screenplay, story, direction, production, everything. And we had what 2 weeks time, 2 weeks or 1.5 week, and we had to produce a short film. Minimum time 10 minutes. It might not sound like a lot, but when we did it, we know how much of what work you have to do, how much time you have to spend. Ma'am, Ansh is a video editor. Ma'am, ask him. Ma'am, 2 days, at least 48 hours of video editing into a 10-minute short film. It is not nowhere close to academics. It's just team bonding, exploring your, interests. That helped me get into, ma'am, sports, drama and dance club. I'm in dance and drama club. How varied the spectrum is. I'm in dance and drama club, finance club, equity club, and then admission committee. And this is the means the
Variety.
expanse of how what all you can. Ma'am, Ansh is a member of a band created within IIM Bodhgaya and the first ever band, first ever music band. Ma'am, Shubhangi is a singer. We have friends who are gym athletes. Ma'am, they're so trained that they can be a professional trainer.
Very
This is
nice.
the variety you get. This is the variety of potential you get. And I'm talking about classes, ma'am, 8:30 to 3:15. After 3:15, you are completely free. I myself play 3 hours daily. We have so
Very
much
nice.
time after classes. So it's not like it's very hectic. Yeah, obviously, before exams, you get crammed up, you have a lot of things to cover. But that is what it teaches you, right? That how do you manage so many things at a time? You have to skip meals, you have to skip breakfast, lunch, but you have to get work done. That is what matters. And that is what it brings upon in you. That is the change that your parents see that, okay, first semester बहुत रो रहा था कि मम्मी नहीं हो रहा, third year में मम्मी मेरे को कॉलेज जाने दो. Ma'am, exactly. This is the condition right now. Ma'am, we have had 2 hours, 2 months of vacation, and now all of us are very eager to go to college. कि मैम अभी इतना खाली बैठ के नहीं चल रहा, अभी काम करना है. This is
Okay.
what this is what that college gives into you.
Fantastic. I mean, I just like the line, mummy nahi ho raha, but ab mummy mujhe jaane do. I think this is something which kind of, works for every student, I would say, that's a journey. Shubhangi, from your perspective, I want to understand, have you been a part? I mean, you are a singer, you are a part of, the clubs. I want to understand what exactly the festival looks like. What is the fun aspect of IIM Bodhgaya, which really excites you?
So basically, we have to entertain people. That's the thing. And I am
Ma'am,
also a
just
part
ma'am,
of.
just to add into that, ma'am, Shubhangi also participated in fashion modeling competition within college.
We're doing a lot of things. I have participated as a model. I sing everywhere, literally, wherever I get a chance. There are MDP events where government officials or other officials come. Director ma'am calls them for dinner. So there are guests, you need to entertain them. So she calls all the people. You want to sing, you want to dance, you want to play anything, just do it. Entertain people. Be a host. So I always, whenever there's an MDP event, I always go there and sing. So I think it's the diversity we get to experience at the college. I'm also a part of publication cell, which we practically edit college newsletter. So I'm an editor at college newsletter. I'm also a singer singing, part of a nine club, and I'm also part of admission committee. So as Saransh said, 3:30 after 3:30 we're practically free. So we get other assignments also. क्लब का कोई काम आ जाता है, कमेटी का कोई काम आ जाता है, या तुमको ऐसे खुद से कुछ खेलना है, कुछ भी करना है. I go to the gym regularly. So क्लास के आने के बाद रशिंग टू द जिम, फिर जिम के बाद घूम रहे हो, थोड़ा बाहर जाने का मन कर रहा है, बाहर घूम रहे हो, खुद से कुछ इंटर्नशिप करना है, वो कर रहे हो. यू आर एक्चुअली डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, और इससे टाइम मैनेजमेंट सीखना, टाइम मैनेजमेंट आता है. और सिंस यू आर पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, कॉन्फिडेंस डेवलप होता है. You
Okay.
get to know how to interact with a lot of people. Being a singer, I go to the stage, I'm singing. That has developed a lot of confidence in me. बिकॉज मैंने सबके सामने गा दिया, सीनियर्स के सामने, बैचमेट्स के सामने, गवर्नमेंट ऑफिशियल्स के सामने, डायरेक्टर मैम के सामने. सो अलग एक कॉन्फिडेंस आता है. और आई थिंक इट्स वेरी गुड. कॉन्फिडेंस, इंटरेक्शन, इससे बहुत मजा भी आता है कॉलेज लाइफ में. जेन्युइनली कुछ भी होता है तो लोग हमारे पास आते हो नए क्लब के पास कि कुछ तो करा दो, बढ़िया सा इवेंट करवा दो. कल्चरल कमिटी इवेंट्स करवाती रहती, कुछ भी फेस्टिवल आता है, हर चीज का इवेंट होता है. मैंने कभी उसका, आई थिंक पोंगल हुआ था, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर. एक इवेंट हुआ था जिसमें हमने
ओनम
मतलब कि
ओनम
जन्माष्टमी का इवेंट हुआ था.
ओके जन्माष्टमी.
जन्माष्टमी का इवेंट हुआ था, और एक साउथ इंडियन फेस्टिवल है जिसके बारे में मुझे पता नहीं था कभी. कॉलेज में जाने के बाद पता चला, क्योंकि वो इवेंट में मैंने पार्टिसिपेट किया था और वो इवेंट हुआ था. उसमें सब आए थे, IPM, DBM, HHM, MBA. Everybody was a part of that event. So college life is actually very 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 fun. तो तुम्हें पता नहीं चलता कि टाइम कब निकल गया तुम्हारा दिन. तुम अगर रात को जैसे बेड पे बैठोगे तब तुम्हें पता चलेगा कि टुडे वाज एक्चुअली अ वेरी हेक्टिक डे, बट यू डिडंट रियलाइज इट वाज हेक्टिक बिकॉज यू वर हैविंग fun all along.
Okay.
It's actually quite fun.
I am all smiles when I'm listening to your experiences. I'm listening to, how as individual you guys are growing, and it is kind of helping you to be much better when it comes to public speaking, because what you are training yourself is to become a leader. And I'm sure all the students right now who are watching this particular episode, and students who would be watching it on, YouTube later, they would be watching it as, aspiring to be in IIM Bodhgaya or in any IIM later on. Okay, and a lot of you must be thinking, kaise kaise gava diya, sabke samne bol diya गा दो, but you have to understand these are the little skills which you develop, in the term where you learn how to kind of go ahead and speak in public. Okay, and that's what it's very crucial when it comes to communication is concerned. Okay, Ansh, would you like to add something? Or they have covered everything.
They have covered the majority. I'll just add ki we went to campus. It was, I think, within 15 days of joining, Onam ka festival tha. And there is only a, certain percentage of our batch which is South Indians, who are South Indians. So बाकी हम लोग को इतना idea नहीं था. We didn't know what actually was Onam, how it is celebrated. I remember everyone had bought lungis and
Mund.
uh, yeah, mundu, and
Mundu, mundu.
all we are 98 boys in our batch. So all 98 boys were wearing mundus, or at least kurta pajama, and we were dancing like we already knew everyone. And this was just 10 to 15 days within joining the college. So we are dancing on South Indian songs we've never even heard of, it won't possibly hear again, but it was very fun. And
Fantastic, fantastic. Let's take up question. Okay, now as you're talking about the academics here, I think one of our students is asking about the sports situation. So, Ansh, can you highlight that aspect, clubs for sports, or do you take competition aspect for sports? How is the sports situation with IIM both there?
see, sports mein we have every sport like basketball, football, cricket, table tennis, badminton, squash, chess. So the scene is like Saransh also goes to the sports complex. Maybe we often meet there. Even I go after classes 2 3 hours. I play basketball uh, with our group, and then I go to the gym. Uh, and then during our college festival, which is Elegante, there were college inter college tournaments like which our college had hosted. So we had contingents from IIM Ranchi, then NIF Patna, then many other colleges in that area who came to our college for competitions. I didn't get to. I play table tennis, matlab, better than basketball, but I didn't get a chance to play because there are seniors waiting, who are better than me, and so. But I still officiated many matches, even though I'm not a part of a sports committee. I officiated matches. I was a spectator for the sport which I like, and yeah, even I got to meet them. Then regarding sports, there is a college team for every sport that gets that you can get selected into if you're good in it. That goes to other colleges when they have tournaments. So my friend has is in the volleyball team. So yeah, it's sports
So
bhi hai
there
pura.
is sports scene, yeah. The sports scene is
Yeah,
definitely
sports scene is set.
okay. Is said. So the students who are asking, like who are very sports enthusiasts, this is something I hope answers the question. I have a very interesting question from Siddharth Shukla. I must say, Siddharth, a very interesting question. I think this is something which we actually, we need to kind of look at. So Siddharth is asking, what is the mindset when you are studying or experiencing IIM Bodhgaya or any other IIM? So who would like to take up this particular question? Shubhangi, Ansh, Saransh? Go ahead, Ansh. What is your
I'll take
mindset
up.
when you are? एक एक करके बोलेंगे, ठीक है? So starting with Ansh, in brief, बताओ what exactly your mindset is.
Uh, See, mindset before any college, it's not just IIM Bodhgaya or any IIM. Mindset before any college you should have is everything is going to be new. All the opportunities are going to be new. You should take up every opportunity you get to experience anything new. This should be your first and foremost mindset before any event or anything in a college. Secondly, in Bodhgaya, I personally wanted to, experience campus life and everything. That's why I chose this college. So every event I go with a fresh mind ki ha, I'll experience something new. I'll meet new people. I'll learn something new. For example, this is Saransh mentioned that I know I'm in a band. Me and my friends only started this band. I The instrument which I am playing, I didn't know how to play that. I learned that with the help of my friends in college itself. Uh, you know, so it's very fun. The mindset needs to be, uh, everything should be your first time. You need to try at least everything.
So basically, you need to be like a sponge. You need to absorb. You need to make sure that you have open, you're open-minded. What about you, Shubhangi? What exactly your mindset is when you kind of went for Bodh Gaya, or when you're looking at any IIM, or you interact with students? What exactly you come across, and just give a little perspective on that.
I think my mindset most of the time is how can this make me grow as a person? How can I be better at whatever I'm doing? So if there's an assignment, how can I be better at talking to people? How can I be better at presenting presentations? So I think growth aspect for me is the biggest factor when it comes to mindset. Before joining college also, I was very particular about that I want to develop as a human being. I want my growth, and this college has helped that a lot, because obviously you don't want to remain the same person, you want to change and become better. This college is allowing us to become a better part of ourselves every day. We're becoming better every day, because every day it is becoming more challenging, or maybe you want to, as I already told you, we're doing a lot of things. If you want to, you obviously have a lot of free time, so you're doing a lot of things. It helps you grow as a person. I have grown as a person when it comes to communication, or when it comes to talking to people, when it comes to being punctual. So I think growth aspect for me is the
Is
biggest.
important. Fantastic. Saransh, what about you? Uh, what exactly your mindset has been, or little information on that?
As I said, my main the thing which attracted me towards Bodhgaya was exposure and opportunities. That is the only mindset that man studying with. If you stay in your hostel room for more than half of your lifetime, you're not going to learn anything. I'm really telling you the truth. When we leave our rooms at 8:30, we come back at 10:30 p.m. Before that, I'm not in the hostel room. I'm talking to people, playing, talking to professors, with interns, with seniors. It's all about how you can, as it is rightly said, that you have to learn from other people's failures. So how would you do that if you are in your room? Be there with people, ask them. If you are waiting for yourselves to make a mistake and learn from them, you'll be very far from reality. So learning from them about exposure, about opportunities, about internships, about their life, why are they here? Like some MBA students are already in some startups, they are making some startups. So what is their experience, what are the challenges they are facing? That is my mindset about approaching every day. But I have to go out, be 1% better, talk about people, talk about opportunities.
So basically, we are just looking at being a better version of ourselves, right? Now, with this, let's take the next question. I hope this answers the question, because I think it's not a, Siddharth, who have asked this particular question. I would just like to put it across there, because this is something which we experience, as we see the growth of our students who join the college. What happens is, with any college you join, whether it's IIM, whether it's a private institution, what you will have to start searching for is your growth as an individual. मैं 2 साल पहले जो नहीं कर पाता था, शायद बात करने से डरता था. I was very scared when I would do a, possibly speak or address an audience. Now I'm able to do that. I'm more comfortable, possibly, in academics. The numbers, would show up when you start understanding it's definitely about the concept, but how you are able to use that particular concept, when you are ideally putting it into real life. So all that really makes you a better version of yourself, and that's what really you need to focus on when you join a university. Okay. With this, let's take the next question. When it comes to specialization, okay, what is the most rank in other than? So basically, what specialization Bodhgaya offers, and with your seniors, what you have seen, what seniors, kind of move to. Shubhangi, would you like to take up this particular question?
I think we're studying everything in BBA, but during MBA, you have to choose one specialization among finance, marketing, operations, HR, and other. So I think we are offered every specialization, and actually, because of the networking that we have here, we are able to choose in a better way because we know that we can talk to our seniors which one is better, which one do you think I should take, I'm like this. And plus, since we have a lot of free time, we can do case competitions of different fields. So through that also we can learn, or we can get a knowledge of what finance is, what marketing really is, what HR is. So I think getting a gist of everything, we can ultimately make a good decision at
Okay.
the end while
So
choosing a
basically,
specialization.
uh, perfect. Now, just wanted to understand Bodhgaya offers how many specializations? The number. I want the number. What is the specialization numbers? What you offer? Do you any of you are aware of that?
I don't think there are specific specializations as in a degree, but it is more about the electives which you opt for.
Correct. So
And
basically,
then
when you
in
opt for MBA, you
yeah,
have the opportunity of doing finance, you have the opportunity of doing marketing, then you opt for operations, or you opt for HR. These are the four options what you get. Then now there is data analytics also which comes into picture. Then there are other options what you get. So as both there, the the electives what you choose, which is also called a specialization, is finance. Does both there have finance? Yes. Marketing? Yes. HR? Yes. Okay. Now, with this, let's take the next question. Uh, what tips would you give to the students preparing for IPMAT? Uh, IPMAT tips. Anybody would like to kind of be proactive here to give the information? Who wants to take up that particular
Uh,
question? Ansh. Everybody's pointing at Ansh.
I mean, for tips, first thing is ki stick to the material. If you have joined a coaching or even if you're doing self-study, stick to the material that you already have. Don't just keep on jumping on everything, each and everything that you see. If you've joined a coaching, good. Your material is very streamlined, it is very concise, and it is prepared specifically for what you're preparing for. If you're self-studying, look up online, search online, talk to seniors about how they prepared, from which books they prepared, and make your course or your syllabus very structured. Secondly, give mocks. Give as many mocks as you can. The best tool for any entrance exam, not just IPMAT, any entrance exam is mocks. When I was preparing for JEE exam, uh, we had mocks basically every 3 days, and at that time we had mains and advanced ke alag alag mocks. Mains there's a 3 hour mock, and advanced there's a 3 plus 3 6 hour mock. So in 2 days, I used to give 9 RK mocks every, fourth day. So mocks is the biggest tool because mocks, mocks give you a perspective on where you are currently standing. What part of the syllabus do you know? What you need to learn? What mistakes you have made? How you rectify those mistakes? So yeah, for me too, mocks played the biggest role in preparation.
Absolutely. Now, I just want to
I
add
would
some. Okay, go ahead, Shubhangi.
I would like to add to what Ansh
Go
said.
ahead.
I think being consistent is also very, very, very important. If you're not consistent, you cannot dream of cracking any exam. Consistency is the key. Having discipline. Obviously, during your exam, you have to be very disciplined. You have to know that, ओके आज मैं उठी हूँ, आज मेरे को एक मॉक देना है, आज मुझे ये टॉपिक करना है. You have to be very consistent, set targets, set goals. And lastly, do not lose confidence over yourself. I see a lot of aspirants, they're saying we're not scoring good in mocks, we're just losing all the confidence, our hope chali gayi hai. Do not ever lose hope, because personally speaking, I was also not scoring very good marks in my mocks, but I didn't lose any confidence in me. I went to the exam hall, gave my best, and got into IIM Bodhgaya and Jammu in the first list itself. So it
Okay.
really, do not judge yourself by your mock scores. Just learn, and giving mocks, I think that's obviously very important. But analyzing mocks also is, I think analyzing mocks is more important. If you're spending 2 times giving a mock, spend another 2-3 hours analyzing what went wrong. Why were you not able to score more? Why were you not able to attempt more questions? How can you solve that particular question in a different way, in a more easier way, in a time efficient way? So I think analyzing mocks, being consistent, giving as many mocks, revision, keep revising. There are a lot of formula in mathematics and in verbal also. People forget that there is a verbal section. They only focus in QA, LRDI. They forget to pay attention to the VA section. So I think read regularly, improve your reading skills, vocab. I think reading speed is more important than your vocabulary, because if you're able to read quickly and you're able to comprehend, your vocabulary doesn't matter if you aren't able to comprehend the reading passage. So I think develop a reading habit side by side. That's also very important.
I think you both have covered almost everything. Something which I wanted to reiterate again and again, and this is something which we experience, when we see the student's journey, 2 years or 1 year with IMS, is the fact that we have to tell them start giving mocks. And this particular thing, this particular journey, ki sim test likho. If you are right now in the 25 zone, you would know. Give your benchmark, give your sim test which would be available. Once it will start, make sure you are giving it. This is, I think, a very old pratha जो शायद हमारे मम्मी पापा ने भी किया रहेगा, क्योंकि तभी ना that particular time we used to have these, we used to do these, we used to have these books. That time it was not really available online. It used to have these books, and we used to keep on solving the past papers. People used to prepare tests for us. But this is the only way you will be able to put, yourself in on test. The numbers which we have seen has always been the same, that whenever a student starts with sim test, it doesn't go like eight time pay 100 aa gaya, eight time pay best aaya. Nahin. It will grow gradually. You would know where do you lack, and it will work. So just stick to that. Now with this, we have one last question. And with this last question, okay, Saransh is also answering that particular. Good job, Saransh. Now with this, we would call it a day for today. Thank you so much, everyone.
Just one more
Yes, Ansh,
point.
go ahead.
Just one more point for the preparation part. Choose your peer group very wisely while you prepare. That is also one of the biggest aspects of preparation journey. I joined IMS. I was an IMS student. I studied from there, and me and three more of my friends, we four always used to study together. Like, we used to go to the center in the morning and we used to return home at 7 and 8 o'clock. uh so we used to compete with each other. Like, whenever the new test dropped, we used to compete, and our sir asked what are the scores, for more evaluation. So we used to compete ki हाँ मेरे ज़्यादा है इस बार, तेरे ज़्यादा है. So it was also very fun, and it was, it didn't feel like a burden when you prepared with them, because they were also very streamlined and very focused into cracking IPMAT. So yeah, choosing your peer group while preparing is also very, very important.
Fantastic. So peer group is also very important. Now with this, as I earlier mentioned, we would call it a day. Thank you so much, Ansh, Shubhangi. Saransh is back. Thank you so much, Saransh, for joining this particular session. It was very informative. We got perspectives, or we got questions also. So it really tells me man is not leaving anywhere. So I'm taking away my bye. Taking back my bye, let's look at the questions we have. I wanted to know, Prabh Simran is asking, I wanted to know that do we have to have prior knowledge about accounts since I am a science student? Now we'll do it quickly, okay? Because uh, we I requested my students to be a part, the panelist for an hour. It's beyond that, so we'll respect their time. Okay. So for a science student, is it easy to cope up with accounts? Saransh, the topper of the class.
I also quoted this in the answer that out of 148 students, 21 students got full on. I'm telling you, my friend who is a biology background and then topping in accounts. So it's not like you have to be a master of accounts to just get along with the subjects. The teachers are so good. Our chairperson, who is the accounts teacher, he taught us. Ma'am, he himself, the accounts teacher, is a BTech student who has no background in commerce, and then he is an assistant professor in finance. So it's not like you have to have a background about economics or about accounts to get along with the subjects. You can actually score pretty well if you just listen in class, get good friends, talk about people with your doubts. You just don't have to be in a shell. If you're not in a shell, you're open to experiences, open to people, you can crack anything. Ma'am, rocket science भी आप पढ़ सकते हैं.
Fantastic. Rocket science भी पढ़ सकते हैं, accounts भी possible है. So you don't really have to worry. Next question by John. I want to know if the maths are based on the 11th or basic maths or is it advanced maths? As I am weak at maths in 10th, that's why I choose IP in 11th. Haha, this is somebody from my category who is mathematically challenged. John, when it comes to maths, 11th basic maths, I don't know whether are you referring to DipMath or are you referring to the maths which is taught in the, you know, in the class? So if you are there, can you please let us know? Are you referring to the GIPMAT entrance test, the mathematics required there, or the mathematics which is normally taught in the, in the class for IIM Bodhgaya? But if you are looking at, I will rather answer both. For GIPMAT, what is the maths level? Ansh, quickly from you, what is the GIPMAT, mathematics level which is required?
It's more like 10th, 11th-ish part. And if you are preparing for Indore and Rohtak, you won't have a problem for math section in GIPMAT. It's more towards the lower side, basic 11th and 10th standard maths.
10th and 11th standard. What about in the post you take the admission, mathematics and all which you study? Is it COPIB, person who is not really that well versed with mathematics? Do you think he would be able to cope up?
Yeah, it's not that difficult. I mean, like Saransh mentioned, PCM students, even PCB students are cracking accounts. Similarly, common students who didn't take maths, they're also
They are
cracking
also cracking.
maths.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, good peer group and good professors helps.
Fantastic. One more question what we have is setting time for distractions like video games and watching shorts while preparing for these exams helps or completely discarding any distraction during this time. I would like to take up this particular question. Okay. Now, when we talk about video games, when we talk about reels, I think this is something which is on a human level. Okay. What we forget as students, I will not only talk about as students, but if you would see the person who start, let's say, कि मैं आधे घंटे में पढ़ता हूँ, and then we look at phone, we don't know where to stop. The problem is we forget to set boundaries. We don't know where to start. I think that's what you all need to learn. There is no harm in distracting yourself because एक time के बाद में when the glass is full, it will spill over. You need to give a break, but you also need to develop the habits to understand where you need to stop. Once you know this, where is the boundary? I think that's where it's like your paths. कि मैंने 15 minutes बोला है तो 15 minutes में that would be it. I would not go beyond that. फिर वो 15 minutes नहीं होता and then you look at the watch and like, oh God, 2 hours. I was playing video game for 2 hours. I was watching reel for 2 hours. I think what you really need to do is setting up boundaries for yourself. Do that, and I think, Siddharth, you would do good. Anybody would do good. I think it's more on an individual level. because it is something which works both the ways. Okay. I am a student who just started last week, and that's why I asked about maths. But I hope, John, you got your perspective in terms of what we were trying to kind of answer. Okay. Which maths is helpful in IP maths, standard maths, or applied maths? Ansh, which maths will be helpful?
I think both have
Both would be helpful.
yeah, there's not an issue, but I think standard math would be a bit more better.
Okay, standard maths would be a little better. All right. Uh, do you, either of you, have followed any kind of? I think Saransh was answering a student, Vedika. Okay. Ansh, Shubhangi, if you can possibly answer this particular question.
Yeah, I
Is
think
there,
setting goals and targets is more important than sticking to a timetable. I personally never made a timetable because I never stick to it. You have to make a to-do list that today morning you get up, you like I will do these 10 things today. So by the end of the day, at least do 7 to 8 things out of those 10. So I think that is what I mean by being consistent and setting targets, goals. Nobody is that consistent and that efficient कि सुबह सुबह सोचा 10 targets है और रात तक 10 targets करे भी तो कितने दिन तक करे तो it doesn't matter. But if you have set a goal, then abide by that. 10 targets है तो at least do 7 to 8 things out of those 10. That.
okay. With this, I think we have taken up all the questions. Do not, please requesting, do not go ahead and ask for the question because we don't have time. With this, uh, somebody has raised hand. Yes.
It's Saransh.
I would like to add something.
Okay. Right. Please go ahead.
I think because of my unstable internet, I'm keeping my
Yes, yes.
video so that I can.
That's okay. Please go
I
ahead.
would like to add one thing for the students who have given IPMAT, GIPMAT right now. The waiting period is actually quite long. After the first list, there is a lot of waiting period for the last list to come. There are multiple lists there. In the seventh list, which is like 2 months after the first list was released. You don't have to lose hope if you have slightly lesser marks than the first list. It takes some time to get to the last list, and you have to keep believe in yourself.
All right. So thoda time lagega, but it will happen. So just be patient. For the students who would be now waiting for the GIPMAT results, they will be out. Once they will be out, we would be communicating. And thank you so much for joining in. I hope this particular session was helpful. A quick raise of hand will be a little motivating for us and the panelists. Was it helpful? A quick raise of hands. Fantastic. I am so happy to to see that you felt this was helpful. For the students who are not aware, just a FYI, on Monday we are doing a session with IIM Bangalore for their new UG program. So make sure you're joining that particular session. In case if you don't know the link or if you are, if you have not got the link, I'm sharing it here right away. Make sure that you all are joining the session on Monday. Understand the new program of IIM Bangalore and everything about the session. It will be something which will be interesting in case if you are looking at the aspiring IIM, there is another IIM which is there in the list for you all to look at. Okay. Now with this, I will take your leave. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in for the session. It was really nice talking to all of you, Saransh, Ansh, and Shubhangi. Thank you so much. And for the
Thank
rest
you,
of
ma'am,
you,
for having us. Thank you.
I
We're
am glad
glad
I
we could help in any way.
I will make sure I trouble you all again because now is the time when the students will want to know more about GIPMAT and admission committee. I am sure you will be there to help the students. So I will be connecting with you all, and thank you all to all the students who have been there. I think you guys have been a lovely audience. Ansh, Shubhangi, and Saransh, again, thank you so much, and everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
ma'am. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye bye. I hope all of you watching this particular series on YouTube, I hope this particular session was helpful. This was a little attempt in understanding IPM at IIM Bodhgaya. If you have any questions, please feel free to write it in the comment box. We'll be more than happy to assist you with the answers. Thank you so much. Bye bye.